You're watching Capitol View, Sunday morning talk focused on the political scene in Arkansas.
Welcome back to Capitol View. The way you pay taxes in this state is under intensive review at the Capitol as a task force looks at possible reforms. And joining us to discuss that panel's progress and more is Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
So the Arkansas Tax Reform and Relief Task Force meets for the third time this coming week, and you've challenged its 16 members to consider bold, comprehensive reform. They have a lot on their plate. I know that you know that yourself. So how confident are you that an actual overhaul of the state's tax system will happen, like, just based on this task force?
Well, look, I'm an optimist. I met with a couple of representatives yesterday, and I have been meeting with some of the members and talking with some of the folks in the House and Senate who aren't on this task force but are providing input. And look, it's a very, very difficult thing to change government. There is an inertia to a big government that's been around a long time, organized in a particular way. And when you start tinkering with that, you get a lot of different voices saying, well, hey, I don't want to change that. I don't want to change this. So look, it's never easy. But the fact that we have people talking about tax reform, and I would note that the name is tax reform, as you said, tax reform and tax relief. To me, it sounds like what they were trying to do with that, those two different words. Reform is about simplifying the code. It's about organizing in a way that makes more sense, that maybe is fairer or flatter, more efficient. But the relief part is what I really, they're both important, but the relief part is where we really have a need. It's where we really are hurt in terms of competing with states like Texas and Tennessee and all over the country, really. And that's the part that deals with how high taxes are. The relief part is about getting that down. So how optimistic am I? Well, I am optimistic that this task force will do what it's supposed to do, if that is defined as talk about a bunch of different stuff and come up with some ideas. Now, do I believe that they're going to come out with a piece of legislation that everybody just celebrates as perfect and then it passes and we've got a new tax code? No, that's not going to happen, and I don't think anyone thinks that's going to happen. But anytime you've got people talking about making some positive changes to the tax code, that's a good thing. I will continue to emphasize relief, relief, relief. Lower taxes in addition to a simpler tax code, which is the reform component.
I know they still have a lot to look at, but the governor definitely likes his task forces. He just created one this past week to bring federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies together to combat crime in the capital city, of course, after that mass shooting that happened last weekend. And you've represented this area from the state legislature all the way up to U.S. Congress. So what else would you like to see happen in your community just besides this law enforcement response?
Sure. Well, I know a lot of those folks, most of those folks on that task force. In fact, the acting United States Attorney, Pat Harris, who was up there with the governor at the press conference, he was my criminal division chief when I was U.S. Attorney. So I know a lot of these people. They are great and they are very important. They can provide a lot of expertise and resources. That's really important. The federal government, the state, can provide resources with the FBI, the U.S. Attorney, and what have you. State police, Bill Bryant, a great guy there. But make no mistake, this is going to have to be solved, and the governor has said this. This is going to have to be solved primarily at the local level. We can help, but this primarily has to be solved at the local level. But the governor's right when he says that if Little Rock's not safe, then the Little Rock being the core of government, the capital, the core of a lot of our business, our job growth, and all of that, we've got a problem. Bigger than just maybe a neighborhood or something, that's bad enough. But when you've got this systemic issue downtown and all over the place, it's a really big problem, and you need to put that extra attention on it. I will say, you know, there's a cultural part of this that's really disturbing too. I don't know if you saw the advertisement for that show, but it was a picture of the individual with a firearm looking right in your face. Now, it shouldn't come as a surprise to people that if that's the advertisement for the show, that's the way he lives his life, allegedly, and that's what they're singing about, it shouldn't come as a surprise that violence occurs at a place like that. Now, it shouldn't occur at a place like that, but you can't. Some of these individuals are living the life that they're singing about.
Exactly.
Right? And so there's a cultural issue there. Also, what are 16-year-olds and all these underage folks, kids, doing at these places? So there's a lot of different aspects locally that we're going to have to, it's not, I'm not a local official. I'll support them any way I can. But we shouldn't wait till things like this happen before you shut people down. We need to be shutting a bunch of these things down, these places down, if they're not following the law. And look, I think that there's a lot that can be done here in the city of Little Rock that has not been done. And this is not the format to get into a long discussion, but I think we need better leadership here in the city of Little Rock. So we'll see what happens.